What's indeed going on, Jerome's? Happy Sunday. Happy very early Sunday. Also, Premier Gang. What is up? So, random Vikings tidbits ahead of the game on Sunday against the Cricket Chicago Bears. And a lot of it is behind the scenes. And the Vikings, allegedly 1-4, pending what happens these next three games, could be sellers at the trade deadline. That may stand pat. Who really knows? But Sunday morning news dump. And you're probably taking a dump as you're watching this. He knows when you are pooping. So Adam Schefter, go. Vikings quarterback Kirk Jerome Ezekiel Cousins, common misspelling, is expected to remain in Minnesota this season and will not look to waive the no-trade clause in his contract, short of changing unforeseen circumstances. Now, we always said that I think it was a very long shot for the Vikings to trade Kirk, and even if this thing goes completely pear-shaped over these next three games, the Vikings could be 1-7 at the trade deadline. I still think that Kirk would not waive his no-trade clause because for a lot of reasons. Like, if Kirk is going to leave Minnesota, and I think that whatever team he goes to, I don't think that he would see the benefit of forcing a trade and then giving up trade capital from his new team, as well as I don't think there's a clear-cut spot for him to go. The Falcons, probably not. The Jets, probably not. And again, the wording, short of changing unforeseen circumstances. Again, not wishing this on anyone, but I think absent like Brock Purdy missing the season, alien abduction, I don't see a spot where Kirk is just going to go. I don't. Plus, I mean, the team that's going to trade for Kirk probably would want him for the foreseeable future, and so working out an extension would be in the process, and that takes time. And again, it's a business, but as we've seen from the documentary, Kirk's a family dude. I don't think that he would make a decision to move in the middle of the season with his family and take his kids out of school. I really don't think that he would do that. So I think that Kirk will not be traded at the deadline. And even if things go wonky these next three games, which they won't, I don't see it. Something that could be a factor in that is Justin friggin' Jefferson and his hamstring. So on IR, at minimum, going to miss the next four games, but Vikings are hopeful that he'll return. Again, Schefter. Doctors believe Justin Jefferson's hamstring injury will sideline the Minnesota Vikings star for 4 to 6 weeks, and the all-pro receiver will undergo imaging tests in 4 weeks to determine when he can return per sources. Now, it was reported by Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who's not Carl Gerbschmidt, this week that JJ was jogging in practice. And, there's a big difference between light jogging and full-on sprinting, change of direction, everything like that. So I think that it was smart for the Vikings to save JJ from himself, and he does need to rest these next 4 games. So he's going to miss Bears, Niners, Packers, and Falcons. Eligible to return Week 10 against the Saints. But even if he misses a couple more games, say it's the worst case, say it's the upper end of that limit that Schefter forecasted. So 6 weeks would take him out of the Saints and Broncos game as well. Return for Monday Night Football Week 12 against the Bears. Well, currently Monday night. I bet you that ish is going to get flexed out. Or, return after the bye. And I know what you're saying. Oh, well, the Vikings are out of it. Again, JJ is concerned about legacy. He's not going to skip games if he's fully healthy because he wants to put up career stats and go from there. But either way, it's good news for the Vikings, and it doesn't appear that this is like a full-on hamstring tear, which potentially could have ended his season, but hopefully he's going to be good to go, and don't have him rush to return until he's 100%. We talked about Kirk Cousins at the trade deadline. Some other interesting names came up. So Vikings Insider compiled this. The Vikings have received calls and will continue to listen on Danielle Hunter, Harrison Smith, and KJ Osborne, according to Diana Rossini of The Athletic. And, I mean, again, if the season does go pear-shaped, you could see the Vikings sell, especially guys who are in the contract or in a contract year, and maybe the Vikings don't see them as a long-term part of the future. So Danielle Hunter could be one, although I'm firmly on team pay Danielle. Harrison took a huge pay cut this offseason to remain a Viking, but it seems like it's going to be his last year. KJ Osborne is in a contract year, finishing up his rookie deal. And even though things haven't really worked out for the Vikings, a wide receiver needy team certainly could find a role for KJ. Although with Jefferson out with hamstring, I mean, that could be a non-starter for the Vikings. And also we've talked about Jordan Hicks to the Bills. Makes a ton of sense with Matt Milano out. Also in the final year of his deal. Ezra Cleveland is in the last year of his rookie deal. You could toss Marcus Davenport, who only signed a 1-year deal. Juan was in the final year of his rookie deal. So there's a couple options there. Also an option was the refs actually calling a fair game, Chiefs versus Vikings last Sunday, but I digress there. Now, again, the 2 feet in with Watson before half, kind of subjective. The Harrison DPI when MVS grabbed him, subjective, sure. The CJ Ham getting pummeled right in the face on the 4th down, subjective, sure. The DPI or at minimum defensive holding against Snead, subjective, sure. But black and white violation of the rules was L'Jarius Sneed taking his helmet off on the field. And Talpacero chimed in. The NFL fined Chiefs cornerback L'Jarius Sneed $13K and change for unsportsmanlike conduct, removing his helmet to argue a flag against him late in last week's win over the Vikings. Officials picked up the original flag and didn't flag Sneed for removing his helmet either. And you saw it on the telecast. The ref literally says, "Put your helmet on," as opposed to throwing a flag. Again, this is not subjective. It's not human error. This is a clear black and white violation of the rules. And I know, it wouldn't have changed possession. It matters. Since the Vikings did stop the Chiefs, I mean, the Vikings getting back 15 yards of field position makes a difference between a lame-ass Hail Mary versus just a shot to the end zone. Like, it could have changed the outlook of the end of the game. Now, I know what you're saying is like, well, it didn't. Again, hey, are the rules here, or is this nom? That's all I'm saying. So frustrating, man. But that's it. That's Vikings Sunday morning news dump very early on a Sunday. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.